I know, like in
Mhm.
America, a lot of brothers, we like to, have the nice shit on, the flashy stuff on. And this now, do you think this makes you a target when you're out in Colombia, moving around in Medellin, or what's your
100%.
what's good, everybody? It's your boy El Shay Duke Jackson, back at it again with another collaboration here on the YouTube channel, man. And happy September to everybody. We're gonna get it in today. But I got my brother, man, on here. I've been knowing him for a long time. He's been in the manosphere community. He's more or less on the travel side of that. But I'm gonna let him explain who he is and what his channel is all about.
What's going on, fellas? This is your man, Aaron Ferris of Black Man Travels. I have a travel company, a private Facebook group of a couple thousand brothers traveling the world. I also have a YouTube channel, Black Man Travels. And it's just me exploring Colombia. And I've traveled to DR, Brazil, and other different countries, and just try to put brothers on good information. And, that way they can move safely overseas.
All right, and give him a round of applause. I've been knowing brother Aaron, man, at least since 2017, 2018. Before he actually started his YouTube channel, he was a subscriber. And now, man, I see you. You got a Facebook group. You blowing up. And before, you was really focused on Brazil, and that's how me and you started talking, because you used to give me tips on how to move around Brazil when I went. But what took you to Colombia over your first love at the time, which was Brazil?
Man, you know what? I came out here. Well, first, Colombia's a little closer than Brazil. It's like only like a 5-hour plane trip from Atlanta. When I got out here, man, I just instantly fell in love with the people, the culture, the environment, the price of living, the laid back. Just the whole vibe was really cool, and I felt like I could live here. So my first time visiting, I stayed here like a couple of weeks. It was like in the middle of the pandemic. We couldn't do that much. And then I was like just so in awe of this country, man. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and move out here for a few months. And I've been out here close to 10 months now, almost going on a year. It'll be a year in November.
Okay, a year in November. Now, the last time every time we have a pretty much of a video collaboration, it always does a lot. Get a lot of views. A lot of black men they look at the upsides of living overseas, like in Medellin. What are some of the upsides that you experienced since you've been living there? Some of the positives.
One of the biggest positive is the USD, man. That American dollar is pretty strong out here in Colombia. It does fluctuate, but for the most part, it stays pretty heavy. That's the number one benefit. You can live a very laid back and easy life. You can purchase an apartment or rent an apartment, I'm sorry, for a very good price. And just the living, just the food is great out here. It's no GMO, so you can get healthy food straight from the jungle. Then of course the women are beautiful out here. There's many Afro Latinas out here. So it's a lot of benefits living out here. Just to eat, it's just more laid back. The water is good, right. The air is good. It's a constant 75 degrees every day. It's the city of eternal spring, so you don't have no cold weather, you don't have no hot weather. And because of that, I feel like the people are just really genuine and really nice out here.
Okay. So a lot of positive. But now let's get into what we're talking about today, because a lot of black men, we have a brother that actually got, not in the city because you're in Medellin, but there's a brother that actually got killed in Colombia. And then there's a lot of brothers, not just black men, but men in general. There's a lot of men that are getting drugged, meeting these women and stuff like that. It's been a real big thing. It's talked about a lot in your Facebook group, so much so that you actually contacted me to kind of warn these guys today about what's going on down there. Why has it gotten so bad with the situation?
Well, the main situation is, Colombia's coming off a lot of protests. They was about to raise the taxes to like crazy percentage, 18 or 19%. And because of that, it started a lot of protests. Now, keep in mind that, a lot of people are not working right now due to the pandemic. So as things are things are getting really bad out here because, it's just not enough money rolling around. And because of that, you have more, up in crime, basically, a lot of petty crimes. So, right now, Colombia is wide open. The pandemic is, still here, but things is pretty much open. And now what we're seeing is like just the uptake in everything, man. Robberies, violence. You got to be very careful out here.
Okay, let's kind of talk about. I mean, because the brother name was, I think his name was like Timothy. What was his name?
Timothy Reed.
Reed. Okay, rest in power. I know he was assassinated, if you will, and I forgot what part of Colombia he was in. What part was that?
He was in Barranquilla, Colombia.
Barranquilla, okay, and that has a lot of African people of African descent are there, right? A lot of that is there. Okay, let's just talk about like how to move around before we kind of get into like guys getting drugged. I know, like in America, a lot of brothers, we like to have the nice shit on, the flashy stuff on. And this now, do you think this makes you a target when you're out in Colombia, moving around in Medellin, or
100%? Okay, 100%. In South America in general, man, you really have to dress not down, but just normal, man. No jewelry whatsoever. No jewelry, no throwing money, no flash. You want to blend in as much as possible, man. And the fortunate thing about a lot of brothers is there are a lot of Black Colombians here, so you can blend in for the most part. But you do not want to put a target on your back, man, with the jewelry. I see it all the time. Guys get robbed. I mean, if you wear jewelry, 9 times out of 10 you will get robbed out here.
9 times out of 10.
9 times out of 10. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even some of the toughest guys don't wear jewelry out here, man. I've seen videos of them running inside a bar or a club and robbing a guy for his Rolex watch. So
what?
Yeah,
running inside at gunpoint?
Yeah, they ran inside a popular bar nightclub here in Provenza, which is a very nice area, and they took his watch, man. He had like a $10,000, $12,000 watch on. Okay, and they got him.
It's an African American guy.
No, I think it was an African American guy, light skinned brother. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
But you know what? Colombia don't matter, man. You could be white, green, yellow. They don't care about that.
Okay.
For the most, I would say this, for the most part, since we African American and we like the cool, hip Black people, they kind of like mimic our culture to a certain degree. Not all of them, but to a certain degree, they love hip hop. They kind of leave us alone, honestly speaking, bro. But when you wear jewelry, it's like, okay, you got somebody's, you got 10 houses on your neck right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they look at it like that. Like, okay, bro, you wearing jewelry. We're gonna have to take that from you.
We got to get you. Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
We got to get you. Okay, let's talk about it, man. Because a lot of brothers, shout out to brother SPK Lifestyle. I know he was out there. You met him, and he's in Uganda, and I know that it was a lot of guys have been getting drugged. I see it a lot in these groups because I'm in your group. When I go in there, I see people talking about it a lot, or talking about other people getting robbed. How are these guys putting you in a position where they're getting drugged, and how does it happen? And how much time do you got to react before you can do something? Like how is it happening that these guys are putting themselves where they're losing everything? They get to take their laptops taken, their credit cards taken, their passports taken, all of that.
Well, the main drug that they're using is called scopolamine. Scopolamine comes from basically a plant out here. I mean, it grows in Colombia. And what happens is usually 9 times out of 10, a guy will meet a girl in a bar or something, or he'll meet a woman on Tinder, or he'll meet a woman in one of these little clubs out here, and they're going to they will put a drug in his drink. Now, when they put the drug in his drink, scopolamine was used by the CIA as a truth serum, man. So, you have like maybe a few minutes till it hits you, and basically you're a walking zombie at that point. You tell them everything. One guy, Colombian guy, picked up a couple of girls off the street to give him a ride. They was able to blow a dust in his face. It hit him. They went back to his house and they took everything. They robbed him for everything. Right now, the rumor is that, the pimps and whoever, some of these guys in the barrios are telling the girls that are, in that lifestyle to drug the tourists, because they feel like they drug you gonna have to go back home eventually. So that's one less guy that's gonna be looking for them, right? So you have to be very careful out here, man. It is happening pretty. It's happening a lot out here, unfortunately, man. And the best thing you can do is be aware of it. Because if you're aware of it, you'll know. Okay, I'm not going to drink in front of her. I'm not going to drink anything, or I'm just going to get a beer, and I'm not going to leave my drink. Because 9 times out of 10, what happens? Either they blow it in your face at some point. They can't rub it on their bodies. They rub it on their breasts. So if you do get a lady, you might want to make sure she takes a shower before you engage in her. And you just gotta be really careful out here, man. But the best advice I can give you is if you feel any type of certain way after just a drink, I'm talking about remotely tired in any type of way. Some people say they feel a little dizzy first. You have a few, pretty much less than a minute to react as quickly as possible. So if you're out and about, you want to try to, leave. Hopefully you with a friend, you tell them, hey, I ain't feeling right, let's go. And then you might want to go to the hospital. Or if you have them in your home, which is most likely where it happens at, you got to get them out as soon as possible, bro. If you feel any type of way, tired, dizzy, get them out. I don't care if they're butt naked, get them out of there. Kick them out in the hallway, butt naked, close the door, and called, I believe 123, call the local authorities so they can get you to the hospital because you've been drugged. They got to put that IV in you to get that out your system. Because it's a very dangerous drug, man. It has a lingering effect.
Can you tell me about? Do you know any guys that you don't have to call any name, but do you know any guys that this happened to? From America, African American guys, and
Plenty.
Okay, can you talk about some of the things that you've heard from them, like some of the stories and things so we can warn the guys out there?
Okay, one story I heard, and it was like his first day out here. That's unfortunate, man. It was his first day out here. I didn't even know because he lives out here now. So I didn't even know he got drugged until we were talking about it. He was like, yeah, I got drugged too. I'm like, what? So he had a female. He went back to his spot. And when she got the shower, he was on the bottom of the bed getting ready to do his justice. She blew it in his face and he just happened to fall back. And of course, she went through all her stuff and got him for everything. The last situation I heard, a brother came. He had a girl he met on Tinder, and when she showed up, she had another girl with her, which should have been a red flag right there. And of course, they went in. At some point, they spiked his drink, drugged his drink, and he fell out. I think he last thing he remember, he was getting a massage. He fell out, and they got him for all his stuff. So it's been a lot of occasions. Another guy, they drugged him, but I think the brother was so big that he was able to get them out of his apartment in time. Like I said, you got a few seconds to react, or less than a minute to react. So he was able to get the girls out of his apartment as soon as possible. So he got lucky. So it's been a lot of incidents like this, man. And it's just not brothers. I mean, they do this to Colombians. It happens to white guys. There's a white guy in Cartagena that got drugged. It happens pretty frequently, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I want to say this real quick. It's not just exclusive to the ladies of the night or the working girl aspect of it. You got girls that are professional thieves that come off like regular girls, that you would meet on Tinder, but their whole intention is to drug you and rob you, rather.
Well, okay, so it's just not, girls. It's anybody could get you.
Anybody can get you, bro. Especially on Tinder. Like Tinder is a big one because I see a lot of guys. Everybody, I got this beautiful woman on Tinder. I say, hey man, be careful because the thing is, I mean, you don't know these women. That's one thing you gotta understand. You have to take your time getting to know a woman. Getting to know her family. If she has any problems with her sending photos or identification, then that should be red flash right then and there. If it's usually too good to be true, I tell guys all the time, Colombia does not have that my girl got a girlfriend type of culture. They're not on that time of, hey, you're so fly, I'm bringing my home girl too. In most cases, they try to set you up, bro.
Okay, so if kicking it with more than one girl, then and you by yourself, it's typically trouble.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 is trouble, bro. Unless you know the girls, it could be some issues. Okay. Now I will say this, I will be honest. And I don't want brothers to take this as like, okay, I can run with this, but Venezuelan women, there's a lot of Venezuelan women here, they are not known for that. Somebody mentioned that Afro-Latino girls are known for that, but they do it too. You know, I've heard some instances of Afro-Latinos drugging guys too. But for the most part, you just got to be careful, man. You can't worry about, you know, where they from or what they look like. I mean, they in that life, so you just got to be careful.
So let me ask you this, because, you know, with all of that, you know, because I don't really hear about this happening so much in the DR. I've never heard it about happening in Brazil. It seems like it's like a problem that's very exclusive to Colombia. Why are guys still coming? Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. You finish.
Yeah, why do you think guys are still choosing Colombia, knowing that this has been happening? It seems like for a long time.
I mean, Colombia is still one of the most beautiful places in the world, man. I mean, with some of the most beautiful people. This is just, you know, something that's very unfortunate that's going on right now. But, you know, like I said, I'm still living here. I haven't had any issues, knock on wood. A lot of guys been out here for 17 years, haven't had any issues. They just living their life. You just got to be able to move a certain way, and you can't always. You got to get over this. You know, I'm American, so this fly woman wants me because I'm American. You know, I'm just this, you know, fly guy. You have to move a certain way out here, and if it's usually too good to be true, like I said earlier, it's probably going to be too good to be true. So that in itself, you can't be flashy. What impresses women mostly is smelling nice, or dressing nice, and speaking Spanish. Being an American that speaks fluent Spanish, that goes much farther than any jewelry will go. So I think guys just, you know, they love the fact that it's not that costly out here, and let's be honest, the women are beautiful, man. They come in all shapes, sizes, and complexions.
Let me talk about this, because I know that and you know, because I only been to South America that one time, but I hear in Africa where some of the repats complain that, you know, there's a lot of American entitlement that happens in the continent. Now I know it's a lot of men that are black men that come to, you know, Colombia. Do you feel that there's certain levels of entitlement that brothers have out there in Colombia, and they think they're better than what they are, and their ego allows them to get in situations like this?
But brothers, I think it's more or less like I hate to say it, some brothers might be like have never felt that type of vibe from a woman, that feminine type of vibe from a woman. So it can be very hypnotizing when you experience that for the first time. The entitlement I see comes from mostly like Europeans and white guys. Really, most brothers come out here and they just kind of do their thing. I mean, women, they do like brothers out here. So, you know, in some cases, you know, I see brothers going hard, but for the most part, man, you know, most of the guys come out here, they have a good time, but they can be hypnotized and manipulated very easy, man. Unfortunately, they can be manipulated very easy.
Let me talk about then, because I know that there are little particular places that I know some of you brothers call it Bible study, right? Where, you know, you can meet girls and do your thing there. And there's certain little spots for that. Does the scopolamine thing ever happen there? And these little, you know, like it's a little brothel things. I mean, I know you Baptist, so you don't ever go to that. But I mean,
no.
Okay.
So. They don't happen there. That's probably going to be your safest bet if you want to, you know, engage in that type of activity. That'd probably be your safest bet because you're kind of under protection of that particular business. But you still have to be careful regardless.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to be careful regardless.
I mean, how much? I mean, not that I want to know, but, you know, what does the range play out if you wanted to go over and get some of that donation service on over there for the tricks out here in these streets? From what you have heard, I know you don't believe in any of that play out, but what have you heard about the prices?
From what I heard, man, it can go anywhere from $12 to $400 here in Colombia.
All right. Okay. So what? But what's around the average?
Around the average is about $40, $35, $40, some of that. Because the thing about Colombian peso is constantly doing this in comparison to the US dollar. So we keep up with it. Like we look at the rates every day to make sure people don't get over. So we keep that currency calculator on our phone. So it definitely ranges, but you know, because of the Venezuelans here and because, like you said earlier, the brothels are here, is relatively cheap out here in Colombia in comparison to other countries.
Now let me ask you this: in comparisons to the other places, because you've been to all three of the most popular countries. Again, you helped me do some things. I had a really good time because of you in Rio de
Hmm.
Janeiro. Shout out to
Hmm.
the brother. But I mean, like let's compare it against Dominican Republic. I know you have been there a
Hmm.
lot of times. You know a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
people over there in that community. What is your interpretation of living in Medellin versus, let's say, living in the North Coast or Puerto Plata? What was some of the did you think that there's some benefits of being in Medellin and over the net, and then we'll compare it against Brazil?
Here, man, the people is the people, the people, the people. The people are nice, man. They speak really crisp Spanish, so it's easier for you to interpret it. Um, it's not as hot. The infrastructure is I'm gonna be honest, it's a whole lot better here. You won't feel like in Colombia and Medellin in particular, man. It's more second world than third world. I can put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really easy to adjust to living out here versus in the DR where the infrastructure might not be as good. The people are a little bit more, aggressive and hola. And yeah, man, most people, in my opinion, would rather live here than it would be in the DR.
Okay. Now, what about in comparisons to because I know where you at Medellin, there's not a beach there, but what about in comparisons to Rio de Janeiro? Um, you know,
Woo, Rio is king, man. Rio is still, popping. I'll be down there soon. I love Rio. Colombia is just more, to me, it's more laid back. Like I told before, in the video, Colombian women, they choose a little bit more softer. Like they'll just look at you, and then it's upon you to go ahead and approach her. In Brazil, they real aggressive. They just gonna be on you, bro. Like you don't even have to look at them. They gonna be on you.
mhm.
Colombian women, they sit beside you. Brazilian women, they sit in your lap.
Okay. So now with the cost, because I know brother Dennis, he actually was in Brazil, came to Colombia, and he's making some really good videos about Brazil versus Colombia. Um,
Hmm.
do you think that you could ever see yourself living in Brazil, or do you think Medellin just has a lot of more Colombia has a lot more opportunity as far as investments and transparency and things like that for American citizens?
I can 100% see myself living in Rio in Brazil. 100%. That's really my original plan is to be there for a few months out of the year and to come here for a few months out of the year. I love South America, but I am going to explore Africa and Asia as well when things start to open back up.
Let me ask you right now, because of COVID,
Mhm.
I know that you guys are had like extreme lockdown. What is it like right now? Bringing guests into your Airbnbs or hanging out and going to the bars and things, meeting women. How is it right now under the current Delta strain right now?
Right now, everything is wide open, but it is rumors going around they're going to start shutting things back down because of this new variant that just hit the country. So right now everything is wide open, man. You can have guests, you can party all night long. The police not stopping anything. There's no curfews. There's no pico de cedula, which means you can only shop on certain days depending on the last few digits of your ID. So everything is wide open right now in Colombia, man. But like I said, once again, if you guys have a trip, you might want to go ahead and come on down here because it is rumors that they might be shutting the country back down again, unfortunately.
Okay, so they may shut it down again. Now, let me
Hmm.
ask you this: for the guys that are interested, if they want to live there, what are some of the opportunities, and the amount of money you think comfortably a guy would need to make, and just the investments, to stay there, visas and things. What information do you have for brothers interested in coming into that community you guys have out there in Medellin?
Man, Colombia is wide open. As far as the visas, there's many ways you can get a visa. You can get a student visa, you can get a work visa, you can get a retirement visa. You can choose which one best suits you. That way you can stay here for a longer period of time because without that, you only have 6 months, well, 3 months, then you can do another 3 month extension. So 6 months. Most guys go for the student visa, especially if they're trying to learn Spanish. That'd be your best bet in most cases, but you can get a work visa and what they call a rentista visa, which means you just have to make over a certain amount of money per month. Now, as far as opportunities, Colombia has a lot of resources. So one of the bigger opportunities would be import and export, right? So you can go to these different manufacturing companies, different warehouses, if with the proper paperwork. And I see a lot of guys doing this. Shout out to my El Louise guys. And you can manufacture leather, coffee, just different products. So that's like one of the biggest things. The other thing is the real estate, right? It's one brother out here that I'm going to interview soon that has 48 Airbnbs out here. So there's a lot of opportunities out here. But the best thing to do, in my opinion, is still be a digital nomad, man. If you're getting that USD, you know, you in the game. And be careful trading pesos for USD, guys. So when I hear guys opening up bars and clubs, be careful of that, man. You really want to put it in the right location so your price will be able to justify, you know, you losing the value, you know, from the pesos. Meaning, if you do open up a bar or a club, make sure it's in a very touristy area where you can up the price enough and the people will be comfortable with paying that price.
So how much money would you say, because you said that you can get a visa if you make a certain amount of money a month, how much money is that like that you need to make to be able to get that visa?
I believe $1,300 a month.
That's all.
$1,300. Yeah, it might be less than that, but it's about $1,300 a month. Yeah.
And you can get a visa to stay for.
You have to show them. You got to go to. Keep in mind, you got to go through a lawyer, bro. Anything with the visa process, unless it's a school like a student visa, you want to get a lawyer because that's just the way things work out here in Colombia. You don't want to go. You can go your own route, but you can do your own applications and all that good stuff. But it's best just to go through a lawyer, man. And the lawyer will adjust the paperwork for you to go ahead and get your visa. But if you show, I think more than $900 a month in income, you can apply for a rentista visa. And that all they want to see is if you can support yourself, so you won't be out here, you know, one of them broke nomads walking around.
Okay. Because it's now as far as being a broke nomad, man, do you see brothers out there like struggling that come to because they didn't, you know, figure it out or?
Nah, that's not what we do. That's the other guys that do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, brothers. When we travel, we're gonna go home. We're gonna have our stuff together if we overseas.
Right.
I think I've only seen one black broke expat before. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the other guys, they're known for that, basically.
Right. Okay. Now, what would you advise if a person wanted to, you know, move to Medellin or move to Colombia? Let's say if they're coming to Medellin, which is a very modern city. How much money would you say that person would need per month to survive?
Without partying, I could say $1,000 a month, including partying and entertainment. I would say about $2,000 a month. You in the game.
So $2,000 in the game. Now, let's say about dating chicks, you know, because you talked about not being on Tinder and stuff like that. So, do guys walk up to try to approach women in Colombia? If you're not doing the Tinder thing, how are black men meeting women in Colombia outside of Tinder?
Outside Tinder, the best way to meet a woman is probably at work, man. You just want to talk to her. She hitting all cylinders almost already by her working, because a lot of these women don't work out here. Yeah, that's the best way. Just approach them at work. You do have other websites that are better than Tinder, like Colombia and Cupid. You got a lot of good women on there. Tinder is just like the wild west. You got a lot of working girls. You know, you got to take Tinder lightly. You got girls that are working girls that pretend that they're not working girls. So the best way to do it, man, is just be in one of these stores and just talk to her, you know, speak as much Spanish as you can to her, set up a date. She's probably gonna flake on you the first time, but when she go out with you, she's gonna be very interested. And then from there on, man, you'll have your nice one.
I heard it's a lot of flaking going on in Colombia.
Yeah. Because they don't want to say no. Like, it's rude to say no. So instead of a girl saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna make it," it's more so she just won't show up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Or she waits to the very last minute. You just be sitting there like, why she flake? But yeah, that's just the norm out here, man. Most times, if you're scheduling a date, schedule 2 or 3. That's how you do that.
Okay. All right. Well, brother, I definitely thank you for coming on and warning their brothers, man. Could you tell them a little bit more about why they should subscribe to Black Males Travels?
Yeah, man. Doing daily uploads. I have a BMT podcast that comes out every Tuesday and Thursday. I also do just videos giving you information on how to move around Colombia, because it's very important, man. It's very important to know where to go, you know what I'm saying, who to associate with, and how to, you know, move in South America in general, bro. You just want to pop up and think that you're gonna have a good time, not only because of the safety, but because you have a better time, you know, with people that know how to show you, you know, how to move around the country, man. One of the most beautiful countries in the world. It's a lot to do here, man. You can explore the countryside. You can be in the cities, the urban areas. You can date. I mean, it's a lot of things to do, man. It's one of the most beautiful, dopest countries in the world. Medellin is one of the hardest cities to leave in the world. If you're a single man, it's one of the best cities to be in the world, man. So on my channel, I'm just exploring Colombia. I'm going to be traveling to other countries as well, putting you guys or giving you guys the proper information to be able to move safely around, you know, the world, basically.
All right, so guys.
And can I explain about the Black Men Travels Facebook group?
Go ahead.
Facebook group was taken down at like close to 10,000 subscribers. So we do have a backup group, Black Men Travels 2.0. A lot of guys mailing me like, hey man, why'd you kick me out of the group? We didn't kick anybody out of the group. Facebook took the group down. So guys, rejoin the private Facebook group, Black Men Travels 2.0. And we also have another group called Passport Bros, which is like a backup group. But Passport Bros is like the rated PG version of Black Men Travels. So Black Men Travels can get a little raunchy still, but Passport Bros is like the commercial version. So you got some guys that, you know, just want to just strictly talk about traveling and, you know, their different experiences. So that's the group for Passport Groups.
All right. So what I'll do is try to leave both of those links at the top of the description. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Brother Aaron, for coming through. And as you know, guys, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.
Appreciate you guys coming on.